welcome to NatFun, a live-recorded tabletop role-playing adventure game where the dice and a few friends tell the story. In this episode, we will be continuing our sci-fi adventure utilizing Esper Genesis, a 5th edition compatible game system. My name's Jackie, and I will be your game master for this adventure. And I'm, of course, joined by some soon-to-be speed racers.
My name's Dan, and I'll be playing Dathkar Krata, the Madokai Sentinel, as well as Tuvelis, a Bellari engineer.
I'm Matt. I'll be playing Ulrich Tyning, a Dundas Cybermancer. See how that goes on back of a motorcycle.
We'll find out shortly. Now, as I mentioned, we will again be playing Esper Genesis by Alligator Alley Entertainment in the continuation of Skydon Game Studios' Crucible Corps module. We have links to both in the show notes and on our website, natfunpodcast.com, if you'd like to check them out for more details or to play yourself. And if you'd like to score yourself a free copy of the Esper Genesis Core Manual, you should check out our Patreon because Skydon Game Studios has donated 2 copies to be raffled off in our monthly free game raffle. So check it out at patreon.com/natfun. And maybe you can roll into your own Esper Genesis sci-fi adventure. And before we hit the streets on some sweet hoverbikes, we of course have some shoutouts. Each session we write down the fun things everyone did in-game on our adventure Google Doc. It's a great way to lift up your fellow players and earn some in-game bonuses as well. For this adventure, we are switching up our GM inspiration to be an Esper Gain, a simple +4 to a check or attack roll under the same guidelines as Bardic Inspiration. And as always, the first shout-out will grant the recipient this reward, and the second will grant the person who posted it the Esper Gain. So how many do we have this time?
8.
8. It seems to be working out.
Yeah. Does somebody else want to roll, or do you guys want me to roll?
Bring the
Oh,
bean.
that's your roll.
Right. First number is a 3. This one is from me to Dan/Tuvelis. I loved the way that you used the surrounding scenery to bring in droids for Tuvelis to interact with during the club skill challenge. Even though it wasn't very successful, it was very cool that you kept interacting and interfacing with the other androids within the scene. I thought that was really, really neat.
Yeah, that was fun. Think of the space more three-dimensionally.
Very cool.
Well, and I love what you guys bring to the space and the story as well. It's really fun to see your perspective and the extra things and additions that you come up with in the scenery and everything. Next up, we have 4.
That's to Jackie. I thought it was interesting when you pointed out that you always lose in last session, and I hadn't really thought about it that way, but yes,
That's my job.
Commonly how it turns out. You kind of go out of your way to make sure that you don't win. And then I also stemming from that we were in a no-win situation in the bar where basically instead of the combat where you get to kill everything, it's like, well, you can try to kill everything, but it's probably not going to work out as Dathkar learned. Hopefully he will remember that. But I thought that was really cool. Just the idea the whole thing is escape. That's your goal right now. Maybe kill a few guys, but...
I wanted to give my honorable mention to you trying to fight yourself to death. That was kind of my actual shout out for you, and so I was like, that was awesome because it's what your character would do.
Yeah. Well, thank you. So I can't get an Esper Gain, but I think if I remember right, I think you guys are all full on Esper Gains, right?
We We need to use them up every time because
I know.
High probability of actually earning one.
That's why we made it, so you guys could just pick something to boost. But technically, the first Esper Gain would go to Dan/Tuvelis, and the second one would go to, I guess, Dan/Tuvelis, because it's the person who posted it. So, yeah, you could have gotten one on both Tuvelis and Dathkar.
Yeah.
So use those up, guys.
I know, I need to.
I know. Not without intention. So.
And with that, who's ready to become big dang space heroes?
Oh, yeah.
We'll see how this goes.
I love the confidence. Last episode on Cipher Syndicate, our space adventurers strutted, flirted, and failed across the Eclipse nightclub dance floor before reaching the red door to the office. But it was locked. That is, until Tuvelis arrived with the datapad. So they headed into the back office to reveal a startled club owner and armed guards. But when Rona realized her security system had been hacked, panic set in. She offered the party a hefty payout before heading towards a hidden trapdoor. Chaos erupted as thugs and corporate agents stormed the club, cutting down patrons and security indiscriminately. Gunshots and Esper powers filled the air. Alric driving enemies away with fear, Dathkar wounding the cloaked figure, and everyone escaped, except Dathkar, who was shot in the back. But the team pulled him out, stabilized him, and Rona gave him a healing ampule as they raced through underground tunnels. Outside, they spotted their supposed Tavapol security contact, Tarko, driving off with the cloaked figure. Rona jumped on a hoverbike and ordered the others to follow. And this is where we rejoin our players in the alley behind the Eclipse nightclub, next to a row of sweet custom hoverbikes, as Tarko and Rona's life or death data drives away.
Oh boy. Okay. I think I'm following Rona. She told me to get on, and I'll be in the back because I have some ability to reach out and touch someone potentially.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah. Dathkar definitely still wants to
Hold
kill
on
that rope guy.
tight.
So he will shove Tuvelis and towards the bike and say, "You're driving."
And now we get to have Dan play the driver and the passenger.
I know.
Like that long car ride from Colorado.
All right, so first things first, you guys did see a picture of what these hoverbikes look like, and they are really cool looking. These are also not just normal hoverbikes. These have been totally souped up. These things are custom. They've got additional drives, lights, sound systems, everything. Custom paint jobs. You name it, it's there. And as soon as Rona throws her leg over the seat, she looks back as a holographic helmet appears around her, and just as soon as it wraps around her full face, it solidifies and turns into a full helmet that then travels down the rest of her body into a bright blue with black embellishment, kind of big black rectangular patches, motorcycle suit, riding suit, boots, gloves, full thing. Just appears on her as she sits on the
Hopefully that stays
hoverbike.
on when you fall off.
And she starts to rev it as it starts to rotate. Are you hopping on, or what are you doing there, Alric?
Yeah, no. Al's running up, and he's just jumping on the back and says, "Go!"
All right, so what does your hover suit look like?
Oh, God.
Or your
does it
hollow
flare?
suit look like?
All he says, "Not my hair!"
And what bike do you hop on? What does the bike look like?
The bike, the way I would describe it is think Hayabusa with a jet engine under it. That's about the closest thing I can think of. It literally looks like
accurate.
somebody took a saddle strapped a Hayabusa on the top, took the wheels off, and damned all hit the switch, man. And so when Ulrich jumps on, if he's got any mental say on this, it would be a silver suit with purple inlay, and the helmet would have, it was oversized, it's more of a hairnet, and his tentacles just stick out the back a little bit, and Slick's back there safe as can be.
So we've got Rona on her bike, which I didn't describe the paint job. It's going to be that same bright blue as her suit with big rectangular blocks that almost look kind of like super basic code. Go down the side of it that actually move almost like they are an illuminated screen panel when really it's a solid panel of the bike. And she's got Alric on the back. And then what for Tuvelis and Dathkar? What does your bike look like? And what happens? What hollow suits do you have or not? I don't know if Tuvelis would actually have a hollow suit.
Well, I mean, Tuvelis wants to live, so he'd definitely want the helmet and any physical protection of his person. But the bike itself, similar in build, a giant engine below and like a two-seater motorcycle strapped to the top of it. This one's gonna be with just a matte black. It's kind of like, I guess, would be the support vehicle or escort vehicle for Rona. So they're just kind of like, the black limo version of, or the black Escalade that,
The black SUV murdered
black
out.
SUV. Yes. That way, everything's just tinted. The lights are all tinted. Everything is just kind of more dark and low profile, which Tuvelis kind of is digging because he likes that sort of just black on black on black. And his suit, same thing. It's just meant to kind of make you look like an agent, just all in black, and you look more official, like you belong on as part of a escort group. And
Part of the entourage.
Yeah, I assume Dathkar's would match as well. I don't think he has a personal choice in the matter. It just appears and kind of fits him.
Ripping it off.
Yeah.
Nice. So, this is going to be a chase scene, which I actually am excited for this. I don't think we've ever done a chase scene before.
We've chased plenty of people off the map into bushes.
That's fair. So with this chase scene, I have just overlaid a basic Excel spreadsheet grid. And each of these squares represents 50 feet. And I will set the scene for you. So you saw Tarko, an agent, another bike that looked like it had like a thug or gang member on it, similar garb to the ones that you saw in the club, and they're driving away. And you hop on the hoverbikes and you can't see them anymore. So Rona looks down at her wristband. She hits a few buttons and she just calls out to all of you. Do you want the coordinates?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Transmit them over.
Open sharing now. And she starts hitting buttons on her wristband.
And I'll reach down and look and hit a button that I would inherently know is, to receive information.
Received.
And you all get a little ping, and you can now see kind of a radar, and you can actually see she has tracking on the key card she's looking for. And you can all now see where that key card is. And it's about 150 feet in front of you. It's a ways out, and you haven't even fired up the bikes yet. Now, the way this is going to work is everyone is going to do an action on their turn. We will roll for initiative, and the passengers and drivers have different actions. And at the end of each round, we get to roll for chase complications. And that's not just the players, but the enemies or the ones that you're chasing as well will roll for complications to see if, someone walks across the street or a little kid's balloon gets in the way and hits you in the face. Who knows? I haven't looked through them all. Do you have any questions about how the chase is going to work?
No, I think we're okay.
Yeah, I think we're good. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited for it.
All right, up at the very, very top, you should see a complications chart. That's what we'll roll on after each round. Okay, so everyone has their safety equipment on. They're on their hover bike. You can all see that the key card is about 150 feet in front of you. And Rona revs up and takes off. What about Tavelis?
Oh, Tavelis will step on it. Pull that throttle back as fast as he can, and Dathkar will be frothing over his shoulder.
I just envision a dog out a window, like tongue hanging out. All right, so if you guys can please click your tokens and roll for initiative. All right, what did you guys get?
Tavelis rolled a 15, and Dathkar rolled a 14. Look at the buddy system working out.
Ulrich rolled an 18.
Nice. Rona rolled a 15.
Yeah, that's going to be problematic.
So, I said that the signal is about 150 feet away, so you don't actually see who you're chasing yet. Let's do one round just to see how your maneuvers work and the complications that can rise before you potentially make gains to find them. Cool. So, first up would be Ulrich.
Yeah. And I am going to I have 2 feats I can do as a passenger. I'm going to use the aid. Passenger can look out for random objects and other elements, but by succeeding on DC 14 Wisdom saving throw check, if successful, their vehicle pilot gains advantage on the next complication check. So I just needed to make a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw, not my strong suit. Let's see.
It's not a saving throw. I think it's just an insight check.
The DC 4 Wisdom Insight. Okay, DC 14 Insight.
I'm trying to see if that's helpful for you.
I don't know. Let's see. Little bit. That's a 21. Good lord.
Nice.
I rolled a 19.
Nice. So that is going to give Rona advantage on the next complication check.
Yes.
Sweet. So now we've got Rona and Tavelis rolled the same, but it does have Tavelis a buffer, so it must have a higher dex.
I suppose it does.
So Tavelis is up next.
Tuvelis will go ahead and start with gain ground. So the pilot can push their bike for faster speeds by succeeding on a DC 13 Dex check with vehicles. On a success, they gain 50 feet of distance. Let's not read the negative part yet.
I like the yet.
That's a 5.
Yeah.
So if the check fails, they make their next complication check with disadvantage.
Oh, no.
What are we doing?
All right, we will do that at the end of the round. So Rona is going to do the same thing. She's going to try and gain ground. Let's see if she can hit that 13 on her dex check. Ooh, she got a 14. So just barely made it. So she is going to pull ahead a little bit ahead of you, Tuvelis and Dathkar, and get an extra 50 feet.
I think Tuvelis stalls out.
Dust and smoke blow up in its face. All right, so Dathkar, as a passenger, what's Dathkar doing?
Could Dathkar grab the throttle? It's not an option here. But could he reach across and grab the throttle in this situation?
Oh.
I love it. Let's do
All
it.
right, so Dathkar will try to do the gain ground maneuver as a passenger.
This is going to be great.
He rolls a 19.
Nice. So I think you absolutely gain your 50 feet. So you guys are both back right up there with Rona, hot on her heels, and I'll say that it wipes the disadvantage on the complication check.
I was just picturing that Tuvelis goes and grabs the left side handlebar instead of the right side, and it does nothing. And Dathkar gets really angry, just reaches across him, grabs it, and full throttle back. Tuvelis kind of slams into him. It doesn't matter because he's got just a tight grip on that handlebar that he's holding it down. We're going to catch that cloak figure.
Nice. So now let's do our complications. So I had misread before. It is the character piloting a vehicle. So it's just going to be Rona and Tuvelis that roll the complications, which is going to be a flat D20 roll. So Rona got a 4, which means... All right, hold on, Ulrich.
Yep.
We drive through a tightly packed crowd of pedestrians or vehicles. Which one do you want?
Let's go with it's right outside the club. I think it would be pedestrians to start, and then...
They're all panicked, running, fleeing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're in the parking lot, and there's a lot of other vehicles that are parked awry. Valet was doing a terrible job today, and Rona needs to succeed on a DC 12 insight check or lose that 50 feet of distance, having to maneuver through all of these things. And then the passenger is going to have to succeed on the same check or be at disadvantage to attack rolls and skill checks until the end of their next turn. So we both need to make an insight check.
Now, she gets advantage because of my last aid. So I'm going to yell at her, no, left, go around. There's somebody coming out. And give her a little direction to hopefully give her advantage.
Nice. And I'll say that's fun, so you have advantage too, because we're just testing the wheels, kicking the wheels on this one.
So that was a 9. Then my advantage gave me a 10, so I have failed. So I have disadvantage on my next attack.
Yep, and she rolled an 11 and a 9, so even with that advantage, we both seem to fail. So you're telling her you're shouting out, no, turn left. She's like, no, I gotta go right, and you're just both choosing the wrong thing and second guessing each other, and you end up kind of slowing down. So we're gonna say that Tuvelis and Dathkar are gonna be the first ones that actually get to see Tarko.
I was to say, we didn't say Tuvelis rolled an 18, so there's no complication.
Ah, thank you. Well, because Tuvelis rolled well, you and Dathkar get to see the bikes that are the ping on your radar. You can actually see 3 bikes ahead of you. 2 of them have a lone rider, and they kind of have that same garb as the Omega Fist gang that you saw in the club. One of them has kind of a mohawk sticking out of their helmet. The other one has like big floppy bunny ears on like a fuzzy thing on their helmet. And then up ahead of them about 50 more feet, you see, because they're just a massive form of a person, Tarko. And riding on the back, you see a all dressed in black cloaked figure with that cloak whipping in the wind behind the bike. And just as you start to get into the distance where you can see them, you see Tarko look over his shoulder and his face lights up. His face wouldn't light up because he's wearing a helmet. Ooh, or is he a rule breaker and he's not?
Like it.
All right. So He sees you, and his face lights up. His hand goes up by his ear. He starts yelling something, and you see all 3 bikes pop up on a wheelie and start to go quicker. And now we're going to actually start our full turn order in the chase scene. And Tavelis and Dathkar, you can bump yourselves up a good 50 feet for that gain in the last complication round.
That's one of the grid marks.
Yes, they're each 50 feet.
Got it.
So first up, we have our gang thug on the left side, because they're kind of in a triangle formation. And they are going to try and shoot back at you as they're driving. So they're going to try and make an attack. One-handed ranged weapon attack. And if they hit Tavelis will have disadvantage on the next complication checks. Let's see how this happens. To Tavelis, that is a 6.
Does not break his AC.
Not at all. Flies right, not even close to you. Flies past you. As they're trying to kind of maintain their distance, but turning around backwards and shooting. Not going well for them. They're just going to continue driving, and we are now at Al.
Okay. We're out of range for anything Al can do at this particular moment in time, so he's going to do the aid thing again. He's going to look down. We've got to make a DC 14 insight. He's going to do that, and then I'll see how it rolls and see what he actually says.
Sounds good.
Nope, that's a 5. So he goes, they're over there. They're over there. Go a little faster. And he's actually pointing at the completely wrong group of people on motorcycles going the other direction.
Oh, no.
She's smarter.
All right, does that end your turn, Alric?
Yeah, I think that's all I can do for Meow.
All right, you're good. I'm going to try and really keep this kicking because this is supposed to be chaotic and wild and fast-paced.
And trying to get my stuff.
No, I was really slow on my turn because I didn't have all my sheets open. All right, Tarko. Tarko's the hoverbike in the front. Full 150 feet away from you, Tavelis and Dathkar. Tarko is just going to gun it. They're going to go for the gain ground, and they are going to need to make a dexterity check. Ooh, they crit. So they are going to absolutely take off. And I'm going to say that I'll just leave it at that. They succeed. The crit doesn't get double distance. But they take off, and they actually zip in and out of people and some of the other hoverbikes on the street, and you lose sight of them a couple times as they go. You can occasionally catch a glimpse of them, but they really flew much further ahead.
That's why I was confused.
Now we're at Tavelis.
We are getting close. Am I within 50 feet of that other cycle?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah, they were kind of staggered, so you had Tarko in the front, one about 50 feet back from them on the left, and then another one about 100 feet back on the right.
all right. Well, Tavelis will charge ahead and see if he can't get closer. So it will once again roll for gain ground. And Tavelis rolls an 8. Wah, wah.
Not gonna do it.
All right. Well, I guess that ends his turn, or its turn.
Yeah, I mean, you're maintaining pace, but you're not gaining
gaining.
ground with those actions, unfortunately.
I guess a little transition time between Dathkar letting go of the throttle and reaching for his weapon.
Too fast.
And Rona is set. She saw Tarko. She knows that's where the key card is. That's where she's going. She's going to do gain ground and try and just tune out Ulrich at this point. But he is sounding so confident because she rolled a 7. So she is also not able to gain ground. Just maintaining speed with those back 2 hoverbikes. So we are at Dathkar now.
All right.
All his ranged weaponry.
Yeah, well, Dathkar does have a ranged attack. He can take his weapon and do an infused strike as a ranged attack. So he's going to pull out a one-handed weapon. So instead of his grand blade, he's going to use his warhammer.
Subtle.
And yeah, so he reaches behind him, and that again kind of just pops out of his suit, and he's got it, and he'll take a swing just straight at the bike in front of him and try to hit it with a range attack. Now I don't have range attack on my attacks here though, so one thing I'm missing.
Yeah, technically, if we get nitty-gritty in the textbook, that is a melee weapon, not a ranged weapon.
But infused strike allows, I think that's what the one thing I was going to say. Let's double check that.
I think that it sounds amazing and fun, and the rule of cool should be at play. So I think it sounds great. You guys are totally right on the heels of that one. I think it sounds amazing. I'm going to say go for it.
Yes, it can. On a range attack, my weapon can fire a radiant beam out of it. All right, so is it just the attack?
Let's just do a standard attack.
Warhammer. That's a 13.
13 breaks their AC.
And let me see how this rolls. It should be a 1d8. Oh, it's a two-handed. I don't get a reroll on two-handed. Damn. All right. So Deathcar rolls a 5 for damage on that. A 1 and a 4.
Yeah, which is a bummer because your strength is insane, but you rolled a 1. Yeah.
Don't get a reroll though.
No Indiana Jones.
And I believe not only do they take the damage, but their next complication check is disadvantage, right?
That's what you said earlier. If it got hit, that would cause a disadvantage on the next check.
Yeah. All right. So where do you aim for them when you smash into them, Deathcar?
As Deathcar takes that shot, he'll basically kind of lean out, and as he flings forward, there'll just be a bolt of radiant energy that just fires out real quick, just like a single laser blast, and just right off the back, where maybe the stabilizer is on the bike, something like that, to hopefully spin him out, knock him over, anything, take this guy out of the rotation.
All right. Well, not only did you hit the stabilizers and cause the bike to start to swerve on the back end, but it actually caught their leg, and you see a huge chunk of their leg is now gone, and you can see blood pouring out of the wound as there's just a trail of blood falling on the ground.
Is there blood splattering through the air and the windshield of the bike they're on?
Jackson Pollock.
Yeah.
Deathcar sits on a chair, leans back, pulls a cord, and just blood rains down upon him. But they're pretty hurt from that.
And that will end Deathcar's turn, yeah.
All right. Now we are at our cloaked assassin that was cutting down people in the club. They are going to not even turn back and look at you. Their job is to get away and help Tarko get away. They're going to do the aid action as a passenger because they are on Tarko's bike. So they need to do an insight check. Oof. Deathcar really messed them up last session. They rolled a 5.
What were those 5 last
So
session?
as they try to lean forward and point at Tarko, they actually kind of collapse on Tarko, and the bike sways for a minute as they kind of steer him in the wrong direction. That ends their turn. And now we have the last initiative spot in this turn order. Right before we roll complications, we have the gang member that Deathcar just blew their calf off of their leg. And they're not super happy, so they are going to attempt to... Ooh, I was going to have them sideswipe you, but technically they're not in the same spot as you, so I can't do that.
You slam on the brakes, we'll allow it.
Yeah, he could fall.
If you want to, I'll do
Let's do it. Why not?
That'd be awesome.
All right. They're going to slam on the brakes, and they're going to attempt to sideswipe Sibelius and Deathcar. So they need to
The old insurance fraud.
make a dexterity check here.
He
Ooh,
rear-ended
they're not
me.
very dexterous. That was probably a bad call. Well, I'm definitely not going to read the successful part because they rolled a 3. So, yeah. They are going to lose 50 feet of distance. They slammed on their brakes way too hard, and they are now in the dust behind you. And their next complication check is with disadvantage, which they already had disadvantage. Not a good day.
Yep. Triple disadvantage.
But now we are at the top of the turn order, which means right before that happens, all of the drivers need to roll for a complication check, which is a d20 roll. So that's going to be Tarko, the 2 gang thugs, Rona, and Tavelis.
Bring it on.
So I'm going to do, I'll just go top to bottom from the map locations. Let's start with Tarko, which is a 5. All right, so that cloaked figure really swayed the bike off course, and they end up kind of going through an area of holographic advertisements, and almost like in a chase scene when they pop up on the sidewalk and they're not supposed to be there. And so Tarko is going to have to make a real quick intelligence saving throw to see if he can navigate back to the street, and the cloaked assassin on his back is going to have to do it too.
Oh.
I have this vision of like the bike going up, a ramp cart and flying through the air into a pile of trash or something.
Yep. Luckily for Tarko, just made it with the 12. So Tarko is able to kind of navigate through quickly, whipping back and forth through all of those holographic signs and avoid the bases, not pop the bike up into the air. But that assassin needs to make the roll too, or they have a consequence.
Stuff it!
Oof, they rolled an 8, so they failed. So they are going to have disadvantage to attack and skill checks until the end of their next turn.
Excellent.
Halt, citizen. You have incurred 3 moving vehicle violations. Fleeing is an additional violation on your driving pass. They do not look like they are going to stop. Oh well, at least they did not damage the sign for the NatFun podcast. It regularly posts the ratings and reviews left by its listeners. It sounds quite interesting. Maybe I should check it out while I fill out all of this paperwork. And when I'm done, I will leave a review myself.
Next up, we've got our gang thug that is untouched at this point. They rolled a 9, which means a nearby accident sends pieces of solid debris directly towards them. So as Tarko is going through that holographic display, he ends up actually clipping one of the bases for the holographic display, holographic signs, and pieces of glass fly up into the air. And this guy needs to make a DC 13 Dex saving throw. Oh, they rolled a 20. They saw it coming. They ducked down. They leaned back over, fell right in line, drafting behind Tarko, and were able to dodge it. Fortunately for them.
Darn it.
But now we are at Tavelis. What complication does Tavelis run into?
Rolled a 13 for no complication. So
Rock and
Nice.
roll.
I saw Matt celebrating, distracted me for a minute.
All right, and I would say, because I have a lot of other NPCs to be rolling on this one, hey Matt, can you roll for Rona for the complications?
Yeah. Is that our turn now?
Just roll a d20
Yeah.
for me.
Gotcha. That's a 20. No complications. We rock and roll.
Nice.
My directions are amazing.
Now we've got our bleeding out gang member that tried to sideswipe Tavelis and Dathkar. They're going to roll an 8, which means they get a complication. They go over one of the exhaust grates on the ground, and the sewer system in this city is very complicated, but you do know that when the light turns on, you need to stay at least 10 to 15 feet away because there's toxic gases that spew out when they purge the system. They weren't paying attention to the lights. They drive straight over it. So they need to make a dexterity saving throw.
12.
They rolled a 9, so they failed. So they are going to,
Burst into flames.
if only. Oh, it's a constitution saving throw.
Yeah, sorry.
My bad. Oh, even better. They rolled a nat 1. So they are going to go through the toxic fumes, and not only are they blinded, the bike goes down. You can hear it crash and scrape. I don't think they take any damage, but I'm going to say on a nat 1, they get that poison cloud. The bike goes down. They are out of the chase. Gone. Left in the dust behind you.
And Dathkar will look back and turn forward with a smile on his face.
Smells like fried chicken.
All right, so next up we have our remaining gang member who's about 100 feet behind Tarko, just slightly off to the left. They are going to try and take some pot shots over there at Tavelis and Dathkar because they took out the other guy on the bike. So they're going to do a ranged attack, and they're going to go for Tavelis on this one. They want to mess up the driver to get them to fall back. Does a 13 hit Tavelis' AC?
Nope.
All right, another miss. And we're at Al.
Alright, Ulrich is still out of range of everybody, so he's going to try again to just really look ahead, give some good directions, and get us ahead. So aid, DC 14 insight. So we will do that. That's a 17 insight, so he sees a path starting to open up, and he's giving Rona a direction, go just a little to the right, and then forward and gun it.
Nice.
So she has advantage on her next complication check.
Sounds good. Next up, we have Tarko. Just going to try and do that gain ground. they need to make a dex check. Oof, they rolled an 8, so they do not succeed. They're just keeping pace at this point. They try and gun it, but they heard that other hoverbike go down, and he looks over his shoulder just long enough to not really be able to catch the speed that he needs. Tuvelis.
Tuvelis will hear Dathkar leaning over his shoulder, just saying, "Go faster," and go ahead and go with the gain ground. All right, that's a dexterity check. 11. I would like to use my
Oh, nice.
Esper gain on this one. Can I roll a d4? Or is it?
Before you do that, do you have proficiency with planetary vehicles?
Oh, yes. Dathkar does have.
I think you get your proficiency bonus to these checks if you do. Does that get you over the hump?
15.
Tuvelis has planetary vehicles listed under proficiency. So is that a 2 then?
Yep.
13. And we need a 13. So yes.
Yeah.
Never mind. I do not need to use the.
One more time.
You're good.
All right.
So you are able to go ahead and describe how you do that.
Tuvelis is finally getting the hang of the bike. Has been studying the controls a little more, understanding what the buttons and switches do, and it's able to basically. I was trying to think what it cut back. Power down the sound system and the lights and get some more power to the engines. If you describe this thing having all that stuff, yeah,
Nice.
he turns off the speakers. And
Turned off the
goes
ground
out.
effects, and now it picks up
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So they'll jump 50 feet
Like
ahead.
turning off the air conditioning in an old Civic.
All right, so you gain 50 feet. You're back up to that 150-foot distance between you and Tarko.
All right. And then that will end my turn.
All right, Rona's going to gain ground,
Yeah.
and she got an 11.
Does she have proficiency with vehicles?
It doesn't say it on her sheet,
Yeah.
but with her background, I would actually assume that she does.
Yeah, let's do
So if you guys will allow
Yes.
it, I will give her that proficiency
Her
bonus.
Met's gonna never get up to the finish or start line.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because just to describe, yeah, now we've moved up. We're about 50 feet behind the back bike, and we're about 200 feet from the head group there, Tarko and the hooded gentleman, and we're about 100 feet diagonally from Tuvelis and Dathkar.
So we're starting to pick up on that gang member, but still ways back. We can finally see Tarko, so that's good. But now we're up to Dathkar.
Dathkar is frothing at the mouth for this cloaked assassin. So he is gonna basically just have tunnel vision on him, guiding, just looking for any obstacle to give Tuvelis a heads up to aid in any way. Even if there's shortcut, like cut the corner a little here, that's his goal here. He's just gonna be trying to aid at this point. Wisdom insight check.
I don't know how insightful Dathkar is.
Ah, Dathkar.
Let's find out.
Rolled a 10. Yeah, that's gonna be it. There's nothing you can do.
Better than I expected, to be honest.
Well, I was gonna say I could
Alright.
roll the Esper gain, but I'm not confident I'll roll a 4 on that one, so we'll just let
Well, I
that
think it's
slide.
just a +4 inherently, isn't it?
No, you're.
It's a guaranteed
Oh,
plus
it's a guaranteed +4?
Mhm.
Oh, then we're gonna do it. Burn it.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
then I'll waste it.
So as described, yeah, Dathkar will burn that Esper gain to get that advantage on the next check for his pilot. And that will end his turn.
Sounds good. We're at our cloaked assassin. They're just going to continue to try and give Tarko some insight on what's in front of him, what's going on. So they're just going to do the aid, which means they have to make an insight check. Ooh, they made it this time. They got a 15. So that means that Tarko has advantage on the complication check, which is up right now. So first up, we'll do our gang thug member that's kind of close to Al and Rona. They rolled a 10. So again, Tarko was driving through those hologram advertisements, and there was so much glass that comes flying back up towards him again. This gang member is going to have to try to make a dex saving throw. They rolled an 11, and it's a DC 13, so they fail. So they're going to take 1d6 slashing damage. Can someone roll that for me? And fall back 50 feet. So they are now within 50 feet, just to the right of Rona and Al on their bike.
That's 3 damage.
All right, 3 points of damage. Heard. Next up, let's see, we have the next driver is... Oh, I should have done Tarko first. I was looking at the turn order. My bad. Tarko rolls a 10. So in Tarko trying to get that distance and only focusing on hitting the gas, hitting the throttle, doesn't notice some of the trash and debris on the ground, and it actually starts getting thrown up by the vehicle in front of him towards his face. So Tarko's going to have to make a dexterity saving throw to not get hit. Oh, they rolled a 5. Can I get another d6, please?
Yeah. 2.
Bummer.
All right, Tarko takes 2 points of damage from trash to the face, and the bike falls back 50 feet. All right, Tavelis, you're up next.
Don't fail me now. Tavelis rolls a 16.
Nice.
So no complications. And I get to save the advantage because it's on the next, from Dathgar, the advantage will be on the next consequence, right? The 8.
They get advantage on their next
Never mind,
complication
sorry.
check, so it would have been this one.
Sorry. I was thinking
You
of
can
the
roll it
complication.
again.
Bummer. No, it's...
All right, and then Al, can you roll for your bike with Rona?
Yep. That's a 12, and then you said she has a +2, so that's a 14. Oh no, that's a
This
different
is
thing.
just a
12.
D20 on
I'm
a
sorry.
complication
12,
table.
no complication. Sorry, I'm on the wrong page. I am really trying to keep up with all this.
Nice. It's supposed to be really fast-paced,
Yeah, no,
so
you're
it's
good.
all good. All right, so complications are done. Tarko fell back. Now Tavelis and the gang thug are within 100 feet of Tarko, one on either side, and then just to the left of that gang thug, less than 50 feet now, getting close to their heels is Rona and Al. And first in our turn order is that gang member. They're kind of freaking out at this point, but they are going to, because it was fun when Dan said I could do it, slam on the brakes and try and sideswipe Rona and Al.
Oh, come on in. Weather's fine.
So they are going to slam on their brakes, and they are going to make a dex check to see if they can sideswipe. They rolled a 20. So that means that Rona and Al lose their next action and make the next complication check at disadvantage.
Ugh, I don't like this. I want to burn him.
Crash into the bike. Rona starts to swerve out of the way to try and regain control. How do you try and hold on, Al? Do you have like a panic like moment, or is it like, do you grab like a part of the bike?
He honestly just grabs around her waist with his left arm because he's got his right hand out. He's been waiting to get within range. So he's hanging out a little bit, and he's a little off balance, but he's holding on tight because he's got his feet actually are wrapped around the bottom of the bike. He's got little feet hands, and his arm is around her, and he's got his right arm out trying to shoot forward when he can get in range.
Nice. And because you let me do a sideswipe that I wasn't supposed to, I would like to give Al, because you described having that hand free, ready to act, I'd like to give Al a free attack of opportunity on this gang member.
Are you sure? Because I just lost all of my attacks.
Well, I wasn't technically supposed to be able to slam on
that's
my
fine.
brakes and do that, so this is a little bit of like, we're just trying to make this really fun and
Does
cool.
this need
so
to be a melee
you guys let me do something cool?
or a
Any
ranged?
attack.
I would say any attack because they
They
are
ran into you.
right there next to you. Now, if you have
Okay.
if you have a weapon you would need to pull, then we would get a little rule booky.
I've been prepping this the whole way. So I'm gonna do the sprite beam. Ball swirls, the code reaches, you see it come down his hand, and he releases it towards the guy who just slammed into him. I'm just checking because that was a lot of numbers, but it appears that I've rolled a 24 on my ranged spell, or my ranged Esper.
That totally
Attack.
breaks their armor class.
Yeah.
What's your damage?
That is 11 damage, and actually, I believe I get 2 more on that from...
Well, you don't need it. So describe how their bike
Just stop
careens
you
off.
right there, buddy.
As
He can only be so
honestly, as he reaches out, the guy is within just a few feet of him, and he just slams it into his chest, and the guy actually whips sideways on the bike, and then the bike drags him, and then everything spins out of control and slams into a building.
And it explodes in slow motion behind the scene as we advance to Tarko.
This is not a Michael Bay film.
All right, Tarko, just going for that gain ground. Tarko needs to get away. That's all he's trying to do. So it's going to be, again, that dex check. Oh, which he fails. He rolls a 7, so he's just keeping pace with you guys. Tavelis.
Tavelis will again go for the gain ground. Dex check. Rolls a 6. Also, no good. He's a little panicked.
Nope.
That explosion kind of threw him off. He didn't like the explosion behind him.
And that also means that both Tarko and Tavelis have disadvantage on their next complication check. So I threw a little red marker on your token. We are at Rona. Actually, no, I'm sorry. She loses her action.
she does.
It was
Yes.
just the freebie that I gave to Al. So Rona loses her action because of that successful side swipe. We are at Dathkar.
Dathkar can't do much except try to keep Tuvelis on track here, and so he will aid with the wisdom check.
Dathkar's strong suit, I assume.
Ooh, it's a 20.
Nice.
Counter out the negative or the disadvantage, balance it out.
For sure. All right, and now we are at our hooded figure. Let's see, I want to do something cooler. They're going to reach down and grab the light pistol off of Tarko's hip and turn around and fire back towards, let's see, odd or even, Dan?
Odd.
Odd? All right, odd's going to be Dathkar, even's going to be Tavelis. It's a 4. They're going to whip around quickly, having grabbed the light pistol off Tarko's hip and fire a shot at Tavelis. Ugh, they rolled a 6. So it looked really cool. They grabbed the pistol, but they kind of shot it as they were still arcing the
It's a
weapon, and it
lefty.
didn't actually do
No
anything.
trigger discipline.
No.
If I had a nickel.
All right, so significant blood loss might be playing into it as well.
Oh,
And
we got
we are
that.
again at the end of this turn order, so we got to roll for some complications.
Cool.
So Tarko first with disadvantage. 12.
Nice.
They
No
got lucky.
consequences.
No complications. Tavelis, flat roll.
Roll 20. Oh, wait. Tuvelis rolls a 5. So, drop you in a closed area filled with flashing signs and holographic effects. Must succeed on a DC 12 intelligence saving throw.
And the passenger needs to as well.
All right.
This should go well. Tavelis is fine.
Intelligence saving throw for Tuvelis is a 13. So Tuvelis
Nice.
makes
Nice.
the check. And for Dathkar, with intelligence of 0, rolls a 5.
Solid.
So Dathkar will have a
Track.
disadvantage on attacks, rolls, and skills
Yeah.
check. Bummer.
Wah, wah. All right, Matt, can you roll for Rona?
15. No consequences.
Ooh, sweet.
Go!
All right, top of the turn order. Back to Al.
Okay. Al doesn't have a turn currently because he didn't lose his turn last time, so he's still.
No, that turn's over. That's
Okay.
old news. I gave you that freebie because you gave me a freebie. It's
Okay,
all even
cool.
in the rule of cool. So you're up.
Everybody's still out of range, so he's gonna aid with his insight roll of 13.
You don't have a pistol?
It's disadvantage with the pistol. I suppose I could try for that. Yeah, you know what? Screw this other stuff. I'm gonna go with the pistol at disadvantage. I think that's a good way to go. Pistol, light. He reaches down off his hip, pulls it up. Yeah, that's a 7 with disadvantage. So I don't think that connects. I think he brings it out and he hasn't used it in so long and his hand's still tingling and he just shoots and takes off the rear view mirror on the bike.
You think a 7 gets,
see
gets
Tarko
you that level of
Look
accuracy?
over his shoulder and glare at you. All right, and speaking of Tarko, we are at Tarko's turn now. They are going to just try and gain ground. They are just trying to get away. And they just can't because they rolled an 8, so they're just keeping pace.
They don't know how to
Tavelis.
drive without their mirror.
Tuvelis is going to go ahead and try to gain ground still. Rolls a 9. So no ground to be gained.
Oh god, the worst stalemate in human history. Or
Just
alien
keeping
history.
pace. Everyone keeps trying to outmaneuver each
Well,
other, and then they just adjust, and it's not
I
happening.
will burn the Esper gain shoutout is an automatic 4. That would bump it up to
Yeah.
a
Yep.
13, and I'll burn that and take the the gain ground here. So
Nice.
Do it. Do it.
Tuvelis has released the throttle for a second because of everything going on, running through the crowd and whatnot that he apparently did earlier, but refocuses, recenters, and is able to cut the corner a bit and shorten the distance by cutting the gap that was between them there. So, yeah.
Nice. We are at Rona, who is going to
Go!
gain ground, try and just catch up. Woo! She rolled 13 plus 2 for her efficiency bonus, so she gets 15, and that means that she's going to get that 50 feet.
Oh, thank goodness.
Moving on up. Now it's Daft Car.
Yeah, now we're 100 feet back, and you guys are 50 foot back. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Daft Car will again attempt to aid. See if he can't get them a little bit closer. That's an 18. So Daft Car
Nice.
very excited that they've gained ground, and he is he is well focused at this point. So being within 50 feet, and that will end his turn.
All right, we are at our
Oh,
cloaked
I need to do a
assassin.
disadvantage. Sorry, I only rolled it once.
Oh, good catch.
Hold on.
I will give you another Esper gain for catching that, Dan.
Ooh, I might need it here. So.
He's gonna use it right now.
Oh no, it's a 17.
No.
So take the 17.
Nice.
Sweet.
And the Esper gain.
Yes, added.
All right, we are at our cloaked assassin with Tarko's pistol in hand. Again, odd or even, Dan?
Even.
Even?
Yeah.
Even at Staff Car. They rolled odd, so they're going to take another shot at Tuvelis.
Yeah.
And they
he's-
rolled a nat 1.
Woo!
Gun jams. Can you roll a d4 for me, please, Dan?
Be amazing if this guy dies because of that. Oh, it's a 4.
Well, Dan, funny you should point that out. Guess how many hit points he had left?
No.
Nice. Blown up pistol.
So go ahead and describe to me how this weapon backfiring is going to kill this significant foe and how it looks and how pissed Dathgar
What's
is.
his name? Wesson?
Oh, spoilers.
Oh man, yeah. So as he lines up his shot, there. I think how this would fail. I guess in his haste, when he first pulled it out, he kind of partially advanced the chamber in this thing. So it misfired kind of the first time, and then he takes a second shot. It's really, the barrel hasn't fully cleared yet, or he had never cleared it. So as he does it, it ends up exploding, and then the shrapnel goes basically all out, but hits him right in the face, just peppering through the wounds he has. And hits an artery. It hits an artery in his neck, and just he bleeds out and just slumps over. And Dathkar was very excited to see the weapon fail, and was excited to see him drop his gun, but then he said very disappointed to watch the guy slump and fall off on his own.
Nice. All right, so we are at the end of this round. So that means we're going to do our complication checks.
Ooh.
Let's start with Tarko, because they are still the leader of the pack, even though they're the only person left in their entourage. And they rolled 4. Oof. Okay, so if you can imagine the crossings at like Times Square, in looking back to watch their compatriot fall off the hoverbike, they didn't notice that the lights changed, and they are swerving in and out of people, and they have to make an insight check to see if they can navigate through all of these people that to them just appeared out of nowhere. And they rolled a 7, so they lose 50 feet of distance.
Woohoo!
They fall back.
Ooh.
So Tarko is now in line right next to Tuvelis and Dathkar, and just barely in front, kind of a diagonal, we'll say 50-ish feet, probably a little bit less, from Rona and Al.
Oh, man.
But we still need Tuvelis and Rona/Al to make their complication checks
Yep.
and see what's going on.
We're gonna be fine.
Come on, Tuvelis. Tuvelis rolls a 15. No complications.
Nice.
Sweet. Okay, Rona. 8. Can I use my Esper gain on Rona?
Sure. I said you're the one doing the roll.
Oh crap! I don't think it gets me there.
You just got to get over a 10.
You just, yeah.
Oh, 10?
gotta get
Yeah,
over 10,
I'll
so-
totally burn my Esper gain on that.
All right.
So that's 12 now.
No complications. Top of the turn order. Al, you are up.
Yes, I am. Okay. Now that we're within 60 feet, Al has a plan. He would like to cast his Esper power of Levitate. And he can grab something lifted up to 20 feet, up to 500 pounds, and an unwilling creature must make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw or be levitated.
Nice. All right, let's see. They rolled a 12.
Yes!
Oh, man.
So, Ulrich reaches out, and he's been thinking about this, and he takes his little fingers, and he puts them like it's above Tarko's head, like almost like he used to smash heads, and he lifts his hand up like he's a puppeteer, and Tarko just starts to pull away from the motorcycle. And then he's just gonna slam him back down once the bike is gone.
Oh, snap. Okay, let's do... Since there's some speed involved in that, let's treat it as if he fell 20 feet. So can you roll 2d6 for me, please?
Yeah. That's 6 points of damage.
Heard. Tarko boom, 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 goes down, starts end over end on the ground.
Yeah. And I believe that's the end of Ulrich's turn.
Sounds good. Tivelis and Dathkar, are you going to do anything besides stop and turn around to Tarko?
Oh, man. I mean, I think Tuvelis realized there's no threat. Or the threat's been neutralized, at least. Dathkar. Oh.
See, this is why I asked
Yeah,
before I just
get it.
ended the chase.
Get it?
All right. Maybe have them do a... Dathkar's gonna grab the throttle again, and he wants to ram this guy's body. Run him over.
Full side
But
swipe
maybe we
corpse.
Yeah, sideswipe the corpse, but can we have Tuvelis and Dathkar make opposing strength check just to see who wins on this
How's
one?
that gonna go?
That sounds amazing.
All right.
This is really not a contest.
We will go with Dathkar, who has a +4 to strength. Only rolls a 12. Tuvelis rolls a 12.
Roll off.
Roll off, you gotta do it again.
Do it again. All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dathkar now rolls a 19. So unless he crits, Tuvelis rolls a 14.
All
So
right.
I guess Tuvelis starts to back off on the throttle and slow down, and Dathkar just again reaches across with its claw and just grabs it, and there's a struggle, and then Tuvelis just realizes it's only gonna make Dathkar angrier, and he may get thrown off the bike if that happens. So, yeah, he just throttles down and goes straight through the corpse or body, whatever it is. I don't know if he's dead
He's
yet.
still
I think
alive-ish.
He's still alive. Let's go with another 2d6 of damage.
That's a 3 and a 5 for 8.
Nice.
All right, so he's looking pretty rough at this point. He has been thrown off of his speeding hoverbike, skidded across the ground. As he was skidding end over end, he got rammed by another hoverbike. His right shoulder is completely crushed, dislocated, just hanging limp as he's sitting on the ground, or he's laying and he sits up. Rona totally peels, does a 180, and goes straight back over. And we will say the chase has concluded at this point.
But the
And
standoff
I
has
would
begun.
like you guys to lead the communication, unless you would like Rona to lead the communication. She's hot and pissed, so.
Well, I'm going to say that Tuvelis and Dathkar would have shot through the guy, so it's going to take him a moment to come back. You can be the voice of reason real quick.
Oh,
Ulrich.
that always goes well. Ulrich actually, because he's close enough to the guy, he actually uses his power of his mind and his tentacle hair. He can actually project into the dude's head. Drop the key card and you may walk away.
And he looks up at you, sneers, and you see this massive form. I mean, if you think Dathkar's big, this is a human form that's almost as big as Dathkar. His shoulders are crazy broad. And in a deep voice, he just says, "Wrong lever." And he grabs his wrist, flicks a switch on it, and his mouth foams and froths and black bubbles pour out of it, and he falls back, dead.
Damn. Harshness.
I suppose at this
Anybody
point...
got a healing insert? We could wake him back up.
Rona runs up, sees that he's fallen, and starts smacking him on the face. No, where is it? And she starts just ripping through his pockets and trying to look for this key card.
At this point, Tuvelis and Dathkar would have spun around and shown up, and Dathkar still got that warhammer in hand, ready to knock the head off this guy, but sees that, yes, there's a foaming corpse on the ground now. Not sure if they did it or what happened, I guess, but I'll jump off.
I talked to him with my mind, and his mouth filled up with foam, and he died. Probably should be more careful with this.
And Rona reaches over. She reaches into kind of his vest pocket, and on the inside she grabs a key card. Her wrist lights up, and she grabs 2 ampules. She hands them up over her back. Does anybody grab them?
Yeah, I'll take him, and I'll walk over, because I know Dathkar's pretty rough, and Elric's pretty wrecked, too.
Oh, she's not stopping for communication, so she reaches them up. You grab 2?
No, I just grab them both.
Okay, and then she takes that key card, tucks it into her breast pocket. We need to get off the streets.
All right.
The Omega Gang is going to be after us. And she kind of looks around. Can I have each of you make a perception check for me, please?
Perception. That's a 7 for Elric. Kind of on par.
Dathkar rolls a 9, and Tuvelis rolls a 22.
That
Nice.
tracks.
All right, so this is going to be a toss to Tuvelis. What building does Tuvelis see that is pretty nondescript, looks normal, but might have a secret button to a secret room built into it?
Secret button to a secret room.
Or I can do it if you'd like. I just wanted to give you guys some narrative
No,
control.
I'm just... Well, I was thinking, like, is it... when you say that, is it an active building, like a mechanic shop that has a lot going on, or are we thinking just a nothing happening building?
Whatever you want. I was going to... Originally, I had it written down in my notes to have it be the Crunchy Critter Cuisine or whatever.
I'm thinking... I would say, like, a mechanic shop. I think that works well, because we got our bikes. We can just take them in off the street real quick, and the noise and all that covers up, and there's a lot of activity, so it kind of just... You fade into it, and no one's really looking too hard at that.
All right, so Rona looks at you 3 and says, we need to get off the street. Do you see anywhere?
Yes, over there, the hoverbike mechanic facility will have plenty of storage for us to hide in.
Let's go. And she hops back on the hoverbike. What are you doing, Al?
Yeah, I'll follow her. I'll jump on.
Tuvelis will head that direction. He'll be leading the way, or it will be leading the way, trying to get off the street, now worried that there's going to be more conflict.
You pull into the shop and you see that there is a hustle and bustle of activity. There are all sorts of different vehicles on lifts. There are pits underneath that have kind of holographic images almost that are actually blast shields, so they can kind of work on a multi-story type system. You see all different manner of creatures working on these vehicles. Instead of having, tools to get into them, there are teeny tiny miniature creatures that are actually running into the vehicles and pulling out nuts and bolts and all sorts of stuff. Rona parks the bike over to the edge, waves her arm, and goes to it just looks like a bathroom door. She holds up her wristband, which is kind of like where you store all of your money and everything, and the entire door flashes, almost like a hologram, and then a pure silver door comes up out of the ground and opens like a spaceship door. She steps in. Follow me.
All right. This looks cool.
Tuvelis won't say anything. It will just follow right behind, and Dathkar will be looking behind them as they go into the room.
As you step inside, it's a teeny tiny little elevator box. She holds her wristband up again, the door closes, and you descend down, just like you're in an elevator.
See, Dathkar, sometimes it's who you know, not what you know.
I'm sorry you got dragged into this. We need to lay low for a little bit, make a plan. Are any of you hurt?
Yeah, I grabbed those shots that you gave us. The ampules, and I'll hand one over to Dathkar, and then Ulrich will actually shoot himself with one because he's pretty wrecked.
And as you start to that, she says, hold on. We'll catch our breath for a bit. I was just asking what you need.
Okay. Yeah, just some rest and somewhere to be. If you've got a place to be that's not going to get us in more trouble than we've managed to get in.
And as you say that, the elevator stops. You can feel you're not descending anymore. and you see from the four corners of this very small space, 4 little cameras hologram appear and form in a physical form and scan and fill the room with red light. And then you see red lights coming on at the top of this elevator. A screen pops up on the door. Rona punches in a code, and then everything fades to blue light. Door opens, and you see kind of like a apartment. It's really drab. There's no color, there's no personalization, but it looks like there's kind of a common area, there's a small kitchen behind it, and there's a couple of doors off to the left side of the room. I think you deserve an explanation.
Yeah, I think we got in a little over our heads for first day in the town.
No. A death guard speak up. I didn't mind it. Kind of a fun day for me.
Not so much for me.
Let's keep it to 1 death a day then, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how you party.
Well, I don't have that many people I can trust right now, and you did jump into the fray, so I can trust you. But I do have to ask, who sent you? And what mission were you sent on? You completely disabled my security.
Boy.
Death guard speak up. Leo sent us. It was a friend of his that had a job for us. Seems simple enough. Just transport this little chip here. Point over at Tuvelis. He's got it. And just bring it to you. Get paid. Don't lose the chip along the way. Kill anything in between. And Tuvelis will pop open the little compartment on his chest with it and pull out the chip and hand it
Ulrich's
out.
gonna speak up. Yeah. The only thing I was just thinking of, did Leo ever actually say it, or did Tarko just say he knew Leo? Remember he kind of accosted us? He said he knew Leo and Leo had sent us, but Leo never told us directly. I wonder if we've been scammed a little more than that even.
Death guard's face turns red with anger.
I've never heard of this Leo character, but I have heard of Taco.
Yeah, he's less than good shape now. But he basically said that the network was infiltrated and that Leo had vouched for us. And I wondered if he just knew we were fresh off the ship from a job and kind of took us for a ride. But I don't know. That's all I can remember. Take the chip, help the team. There's stuff's been infiltrated. Get it to you. Help you. Get paid.
Well, I said I owed you an explanation. So, where to start? You saw that big ship at the main docking station, yes?
Yeah.
Hard to miss.
Yeah.
So, that's the Hyperlance. It's supposed to be a elite vacation cruiser. But it's not just that. And I'm not just a club owner. I'm actually a special agent with the Sylrain Defense Force. My cover was that I'm retired and own a nightclub. In reality, not so much. So, the Hyperlance. Have you heard that story that people like to tell, especially androids like you, Tuvelis, of the code? The one that can rewrite anything in a matter of seconds? Both android and material?
I had heard of such a code. It would be truly a marvel of technology if such a thing existed.
It does exist. In pieces.
Ugh.
And there's some major corporations that have been after it. I've been sent here to keep an eye on a very specific piece of code that is embedded within the operations of the Hyperlance. The goal was to hide it in plain sight, and it worked for many years. But not anymore. Taco was a corporate spy, and he hired the Omega Fist gang to shake up the entire station until they could find out where it was. This keycard that you recovered is more valuable than you know.
I can imagine a lot, but what do you need from us? A bunch of, ruffians off a cargo ship. What can we do?
I'm not a ruffian. And who has control of these codes?
It's supposed to be the Silrain Arc, which is the major political system that controls this entire galaxy. We've had peace for thousands of years. Again, they split it up and tried to protect it. But now pieces are being found. I've been here long enough and have not had very much communication, so I don't know if any other pieces have been recovered or stolen. But you mentioned that you're ruffians.
Been called worse things.
Care to steal a Star Cruiser with me?
Huh. Do we have to give it back?
This one, yes. And this is unsanctioned, so I don't know you, you don't know me. All I can offer is my own personal funds. I can offer you 6,000 cubles, 2,000 each. We need to get on the Hyperlance, steal it, and get it back to Silrain Prime.
Huh.
No, I don't know much about flying ships. How about you, Ulrich?
I can assist with that a little bit. I did a bit, nothing that big, but I can pilot something a little better than you can pilot a cargo truck. But I mean, is it your people guarding this thing? Do we have an in, or I mean, how? I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't need to hurt. But
I do.
Well, fair enough. What about our mechanical friend here? Before we make any decisions, he's earned his keep. He gets a vote.
I suppose there's an upside to this. Getting out of here being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on board with this idea. Hopefully I don't end up in a compartment like I did on that planet back there just 2 days ago, but we shall see.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation I'm not completely understanding, but we'll just move on from there. We all have a past. Yours was yesterday.
So I take it, is this a yes?
This is a yes. Do you have any way to outfit us, get a smedge on this thing?
She reaches into
I'll
her
be
breast
down.
pocket and pulls out the keycard. This will get us access to the port side ramp of the Hyperlance. That's all I've got. The other teams that I've sent in have not returned. The presence of the Omega Fist Gang is significant. We're protected where we are right now, but we're going to have to be creative. We can grease some palms, we can try and, sneak past security. Oh, how good are you at acting?
I've done a bit in my day just the other night, or just earlier tonight at the old bar there, but
I'm sure it's swarming with maintenance, reporters, you name it. Pick your poison, so to speak. Unless you have another idea.
So we gotta get close. We got the key card, but we need to look like we belong. Get on, get to the bridge, not get dead, and get it out of here and manage to make sure there's nobody on there that's gonna make us get dead. Does that pretty much check it off?
Pretty much.
T-Bells will speak up.
I have an idea. We just need a distraction. If we interface with the station computers, we could create an emergency situation and evacuate the hangar that the ship is occupying, and we can wait in a position where we can board it with very little resistance.
Dang, too. That's sharp stuff.
I like this one. What do you call the operation?
Lights out.
All right, everybody rest up. It's lights out first thing tomorrow. And on that note, we're going to end this episode of Cipher Syndicate.
That's cool. Ooh. Now we got something to do.
Get to steal a
I think
star.
subtlety
subtlety
has-
To steal a
I think
starship.
subtlety's really been our strong suit thus far, so this should go great.
I mean, I could think of all all the ways we could try to make this work. It'll be up to the GM to throw complications in there. Let's the dice rolls will be in our favor.
That.
The dice rolls weren't too bad. Well, they were bad for Matt tonight.
Yeah.
That's
But,
okay.
it's some,
That's how they roll.
but you got it in the end.
Yeah.
Well, everything was intelligence-based, and my intelligence is 0.
Well, I've never done a chase scene like this before. It was actually kind of fun. I did like that we kind of took some liberties and like let them slam on the brakes and did some attack of opportunity and stuff. But what did you guys think? How did you like the chase scene?
Oh, it was fun. I was worried that they would end up, that Tarko would end up pulling away because he was so far ahead of us, and I'm glad that the rolls gave us a little bit of chance for that, because I don't really have any range. None of my characters have really good ranged attacks or things they can do. So you really have to be within 60 feet. So it becomes, until we get really close, it's all disadvantage or just not possible. But I think the creative use is like letting Dathkar just grab the throttle the first time and
That
get
was
him
awesome.
off the line
That was
right
cool.
away.
That was super creative.
Yeah, so
I like participation. That's awesome.
it was also, it's a lot of little rounds, but they go real quick. It makes it.
I think once we caught the rhythm of what we needed to do, like the first two were like, and then we just started being able to be prepared. And you juggling too, you did great. I think that was awesome. That's why I think it was super.
It helped that they were back to back in an
Yeah.
ideal order where the
If that
driver
had
gets
not-
to go first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually worked out for us too, even though I was only running one of them. You know, it gave me time to come back around, but she did her thing, and I could have 2 things in my plan. So,
Well, and speaking of plan, we get to plan how to steal a starship next week. So, until next time.
we hope you can find yourself a galaxy and a ship.
And a crew.
So you can launch into your own NatFun.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
I wonder if this is a felony.
Space felony. What distraction does Tavelis have in mind? What will Dathkar's kill count be by the time they get airborne? Will Ulrich be able to fly the Hyperlance to safety? And will Rona be able to save the galaxy with the help of some new friends? Come back next week for the exciting conclusion of Cipher Syndicate here on NatFun. If you'd like to check out Esper Genesis or any of the Crucible Corps modules by Skydon Game Studios, you can find all you need and more at skydongames.com and DriveThruRPG. And while you're there, be sure to check out Skydon Game Studios' newest game, Phantasy Star Tabletop RPG. We'll have links both in our show notes and on our website, natfunpodcast.com. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you're enjoying this adventure. If you are, would you mind telling a friend about us? Or maybe leave NatFun a rating or review on YouTube or your favorite podcast listening network? It really helps other people find the show. And if you'd like more NatFun content or maybe a chance to win a free game every month, check us out on Patreon. And if you're signed up by the end of this month, all paid and free subscribers will get entered into our monthly raffle to win a free copy of the Esper Genesis Core Manual, courtesy of Skydon Game Studios. Maybe you can start your own sci-fi adventure. I can't wait till next week to hear what happens next in Cipher Syndicate. I'll see you there.